Hi, my name is Daniela Hoyos, and I will be presenting the final project for CSC 101, which is a web page of a technological innovation. The innovation I chose is texting and messaging. I'm going to begin with my index. The code for this page, it has an independent CSS style sheet, which is incorporated in the HTML. So the ID and the class tag are different from the external style sheet that is used for the other web pages. This one is the code for the index page, and this one here is the external CSS. So as you can see, they are very different from each other. Now, to make the background, I used Photoshop, which uses layers similarly to GIMP, but I didn't use GIMP for this. I used Photoshop to make the banner of the web page. So both the logo and the background were made from scratch by my own hand without taking anything from the internet. You can see here the banner and then the background. The other images that you are going to be seeing throughout this video, they belong to their respective owners and web pages, which I actually put the credits in the comments that are not being visualized by the HTML, by the browser, I mean. But if you check the HTML code, you're going to see the citations for the images there, declaring that I didn't make them from scratch, as opposed, uh, as opposed to with the background and the banner and the GIF. The GIF animation was made on a website which is called EasyGIF, which was provided by the course professors, which is this one here. So what we did was to just go to GIF Maker, and then we just uploaded the three images that we were requested to make. Now, as you can see on the page, instead of using the footer with the buttons down here, I'm using a numbered list with the names of each section. And each of them have a hyperlink that leads to the section, to their own respective sections. Everything on this web page is centered because it is supposed to be the cover page of a research paper, and I use CSS rather than HTML to accomplish this. In the abstract, I briefly talk about the innovation, its trend among certain groups of age, and its nature between space and time. And at the end, I also add a little benefit. For the strict definition, I leave the hyperlink that connects to Wikipedia. Now, in order to host this page, the class provided us with an available space on cPanel. Continuing with the presentation, here I have the table of contents, and I'm going to press on purpose, which is the first element in the list. Then here the question is indicate the name of the innovation and provide a clear description of its intended purpose, such as the problem that the innovation solved or the opportunity that the innovation created or the discovery that the innovation made possible. So the intended purpose of texting and messaging is to improve human communication to a fast and instant one. Um, of course, not without having psychological and technological impacts as a result, which I explain here. And if you want more information after this presentation, I'm going to provide the link that you can follow in order to arrive to this webpage. And read more details about this very interesting subject. Now, here we have a picture that shows the advantage, and here a picture that shows, an illustration about hands holding signs that represent all the advantages of texting and messaging or communication that uses this channel. Now I'm going to the next section. Here the question is explain a benefit and or a harmful event of the innovation. So a benefit or a disadvantage is easier communication between family and friends. And in this video, I show how easy telecommunications connect instantly an individual with an international institution. And I'm going to play the video here for you.
Digital and or traditional communication differ in several ways, and these differences can impact the outcome of our communication. For instance, nowadays people use communication throughout the device that is connected to a network and which can communicate instant messages or any other kind of information. They can also take classes online. They can also pay their bank accounts from another country or manage any other kind of possession or property from another country thanks to all these technologies. Here is how.
Now, another benefit is to use texting and messaging to access into a teenager's world easier than face-to-face communication and prevent them from doing actions that endanger their lives. For example, through marketing strategies that use texting to approach them better. And this is the reason why the image to the right shows percentages of social media sites that can be used for strategic reasons. And here I have a case that I got from the internet that you can read later with more detail. That has to do with the teenagers and how they use this method easier and with more accessibility than any other group of age. Now, um, here for the C, explain the impact that the innovation has had on society, economy, and our culture. And one major impact is that it has become a distraction, which can cause accidents, and it has also degraded communication skills. The graph here demonstrates statistics of texting and messaging usage by age, and the video to the right here talks about the degradation in writing and communication. Again, I talk and I have more details here that you can read later. Here, Z indicate one field other than computer science which this innovation has impacted or has the potential to impact. Describe the impact. Another field is media-driven churches, which strive to reach the young through the use of media. The graph to the right shows the usefulness of texting and messaging in people's lives, on which other different fields can base their marketing strategies to reach the younger better. The survey the survey was made by using Google Tools and presenting it in front of the class or friends or family members. Now we are going to the next section, which is technical aspects. Now the question here is describe how a user interacts with the innovation. The user interacts with the innovation through a tactile screen on a mini computer or with a consumer cell phone. which are basically the non-smartphones. People will interact in all kinds of contexts with it, including driving, family meetings, um, libraries, etc. The photo on the right shows one of the many contexts of interactions. Now here the question F says describe in detail how the innovations technology incorporates at least one of the big ideas of abstraction, algorithms, programming, or the internet to accomplish this purpose. So texting and messaging uses the big concept of telecommunications to ensure fast and secure texting delivery. The user buys a data plan, then writes a text which is converted into radio waves that are received by towers and when it receives it, sends it to its destination, which again the device transforms back into bits or bytes. The image to the left shows a radio tower, which is emanating waves to the city. Now we're going to the next section. The question is, describe how the innovation consumes data as input, produces data as output, and/or transforms data. The innovation is always consuming data when using a data plan from a telecommunication provider or Wi-Fi, creating traffic in the network, and produces data when being stored in a device or producing traffic, which at the same time is, you know, the answer of the first question of the first part, how the innovation consumes data. And for the third part, it transforms data from face-to-face communication into a technological one, distorting communication or the traditional face-to-face communication into something different. The image to the right shows data being processed by a server and representing traffic on bits. Now for the question H, describe at least one data storage concern, data privacy concern, or data security concern related to the innovation. One data privacy concern is the facility for which digital data can be exposed to others in the current era that we are living on, especially people's easy access to technology help them learn skills to hack other devices, or people who cannot afford smartphones but use a prepaid consumer cell phone that doesn't have any lock screen, and all texts of private conversations are readily available for anyone to see. The image to the left represents a hacker's space of accessible information. Here we have the references page. For this page, I got my information from different sources, but the most useful was number one, which is this one here, which I'm about to show you in a second. So it's this one here, and this one was the most useful for my impacts page. It appears orange right now because it's asking me to subscribe by filling out the form that is at the bottom and to put all my information. But this page helped me a lot to understand the impact of texting and messaging. So that's it for today, and this is my video for my final project. I hope you enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun doing the webpage. Thank you so much.